to the scene had dealt with him before. They knew there was some mental issues there. The family had told the officers there were some mental issues there. He threatened his mother. That was the call. The officer responded. They knew of him, or some of them knew him, had dealt with him before. So, and for whatever reason, I mean, this is what happened.
And we did want to emphasize he did cut that clerk's throat.
Right, he cut both
I
off.
saw, I saw the pictures.
Right.
And
Both
the neck.
the clerk and the officer were injured or cut. They had several cuts on their throat area.
I'm sure people are going to ask this, but what kind of, I already asked you if you're going to review things, but what were the security measures? I mean, as far as when he's brought in there around those people that you're...
After the officer did his paperwork, he was sent to the clerk to do the fingerprinting and the photographing. That's, we got a little room for that. And then when he entered that room, he attacked the clerk, the processing clerk. That's when the officer heard what was going on. He went in there, and the gentleman came out of the clerk of the little room and attacked the officer when he was coming in, and the fight was on.
And so they fought.
He took control of the officer's gun. Several shots were fired. Other officers that came in. He retreated back to the back hall, back cell back there. And our SRT, like I said, SRT came in. We tried to make contact with him on several times, trying to get him to come. We heard nothing back there. So they made entry back there and found him in a cell.
And is it known where the box cutter or whatever it was, is that something he had to have had it on him, or is that something, okay. I think it's a fair question, is he not searched?
He was searched at the scene. Matter of fact, the officer said he found a knife and a cigarette lighter at the scene, so he had it somewhere else on his body somewhere. So he was searched, and before he was even transported.
And you don't know whether or not when he went back to the cell he had a gun with him or not?
Yes, when we retreated back to the cell, he had the officer's weapon with him. And when we found him, he still had the officer's weapon in his hand.
Does anyone recall whether or not there was a shot heard after he went in the back?
That's all reviewed by SBI. They're going to interview everybody that was on the scene, so that'll be in the report at some point.
Approximately how long do you think it will be before we'll have an official report from SBI with their investigation?
It could take weeks. You just according to what their caseload is. I mean, it's all, caseload driven. Is how much in several weeks at least. The minimum of several weeks, or maybe longer.
If the officers involved, are they on administrative leave? Or?
Both of them on administrative leave right now until I hear back from.
How serious were the injuries? Were they life-threatening?
No, neither the clerk and the officer were just superficial wounds to the neck. Several cut marks on both necks, on both individuals. So he tried to hurt them real sad. It could have been real sad if it had been a deeper cut, but because he tried his best to injure these officers and this clerk.
So it's safe to say the service log was still in his possession when he was found dead?
Yes, sir. Still in his hand. Tragic thing that happened at the SELMA Police Department. And like I said, there's, because tomorrow there'll be all kind of rumors out there, and just take them from what they're worth, and just, the officers did what they're supposed to do. Okay. Our SR team did exactly what I was watching them when they did their entry. They did exactly what they did to do. The officer that was involved in the fight, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. There's nothing preliminary that my internal affairs guy here, the Captain Johnny King, is internal, he's looked at a couple things, and he knows what happened, and right now, the officers did what they had to do. And it was-
Timing wise, it's pretty incredible that we
Yes,
just
sir.
have a new mayor
Yeah, the
take
first
office.
day of the new administration, and this happened here, that is a, you know, I don't know how.
Have you heard from Mayor
I've
Melvin?
already talked, I've spoken to him several times today. I informed him earlier what happened, and I'm updating him. And I will call him when I get through here. Anything else? Good?
Thanks.